Hey, Magic Makers. I am here for another fabulous Friday episode. And over the next few weeks, I want to break down what I call the six big rocks of fitness. And with rocks, I mean, these are the things that are going to be the biggest dial movers. And I know it's really easy for us to get caught up in the minutia of health and fitness because we can make it the most complex thing under the planet, or we can make it the most simple. And I don't know about you, I'm done with complex. I have done enough complex stuff that I'm uncle. I'm out of the pool. I'm out of the complex pool. I want to keep things simple. And when I work with clients, my goal is to let's just take this nebulous thing called health and fitness and let's just break it down into things that I know I can easily do. It's realistic for me. I'm excited to do them and is ultimately sustainable for me. And so when I talk about rocks, I don't know who is the person who came up with this analogy. So if you know that answer, reach out to me because I would love to know. But where I want to think about, I want you to think about like a cylinder, right? A glass cylinder. And I'm making up the size, the glass cylinder, and I need to fill this container, and I want to fill it in the most efficient way possible. Now I can easily put in I can easily put in like sand, or I could put in pebbles, or I can put in rocks, right? Because the bigger the rocks I put into the cylinder, the more efficiently it will be filled up. And so this is what I feel about when it comes to health and nutrition is that we have what I call rocks. These are these pillars of fitness that if I do them, it is going to be the things that are going to make the biggest impact. These are the things that are going to have the longest lasting impact versus these short, quick things that, in the grand scheme of things, it's nice, but is it really going to give me the lasting results that I want? And I'm assuming that you want lasting results. So here they are. It's sleep, stress, nutrition, exercise, mindset, and self care. And they're not in any particular order. It's really, I just want to just break it all down for you. And over the next few weeks, I'm going to break down each and every step. So the first one I'm going to start with is sleep because sleep is free. And sleep is the one that I feel that we discount the most. For many of us, we don't even we just think that we're just going to just lay down and boom, go to bed. For those of you who can do that, rock on with your bad self. But for many of us, sleep it has to come. For some, it comes gradually. There has to be a process, and I want you to think about your children. We have a process. Like there is tubby time, and then the pillows have to be adjusted right, and then the stuffed animals have to be in a certain position. The nightlight has to be in a certain position. X number of stories have to be read, right? It is their transition from like running around like wild women to sleeping. Where for us as adults, we don't think the same way. We're running around like wild women and we don't have that I call it the power down phase, right? Think about your oven. When I turn on my oven, it hits its, desired temperature. I cook whatever the hell I'm cooking in it. And then even maybe 20, 30 minutes later, if I put my hand on the oven, it's still pretty warm. And that's us. We run around like crazy people. And then when we think like, oh, I'm going to get home and I'm just going to crash in my bed. That doesn't always happen. If it happens for you again, rock on. But for many of us, we need to have that like power down phase. And, I always tell people like, can you give yourself at least 30 minutes to just fire down the engines, let them cool off. And I call it my 3 by 10. And my goal is to be in bed by 10 o'clock every night. And when I'm in bed by 10 o'clock every night, I know that I can get at least 7 hours of sleep or more. And that's my ultimate goal. That's one of my non-negotiables is to get 7 hours of sleep. And so to do that, I know that I have to settle myself down. There's some nights that I can just go and lay down. But for the most part, I got to power down my engine. So I know when 9 o'clock comes, I'm like, all right, I got to start wrapping up whatever the heck I'm doing and making sure that the dishwasher's loaded and the kitchen list clean and all the things you just tell yourself you have to do before you go to bed. And then I read at least 10 pages or 10 minutes, and I meditate for 10 minutes each night. And that's my way of getting myself to land the life plane. Right. And then usually by that time, my body is my mind and my body are like, okay, this is what's happening. We're starting to slow down. And I want you to think to yourself, like, what do you do? Right. Or do you just lay there and pray for sleep to come? And then you like eventually get up and then you don't sleep at all. Um, there are people who, there are some people who have, tea. I used to drink a lot of tea before bed. I think I'm gonna start doing that again. Some people have like tea before they go to bed and they read or they sit in a certain spot. But we need to start to like give our body signals that it's time to, chill out, versus, running and think that we are going to pass out. The other thing is that, make your bedroom, sleep ready. When was the last time you got a mattress? How are your pillows? Are your sheets scratchy? Is your bedroom like an oasis, or is there shit everywhere and you just feel like you can't ever relax in your bedroom? If you were to come to my house, my bedroom is very barren. It is very barren. We have a bed, we have nightstands, and that's it. Like our bed is just our bedroom is just sleeping. I don't have a TV in my bedroom. I haven't had a TV in my bedroom in over 20 years. The first apartment that I lived in, we couldn't, our apartment was like this big. It was like, a very tiny apartment. And we couldn't have a TV in our bedroom. So we didn't. And then we just got used to not having a TV in our bedroom and we enjoyed it. And so now it's just a thing. We don't have a TV in our bedroom. But if you have a TV in your bedroom, like, do you leave it on and then try to fall asleep after, whatever the last program you watch are, or can you turn that TV off and then start to have that gentle, glide into sleep? There are other sleep apps. On my phone, there's a white noise machine app that you can use to kind of help, and there's brainwave apps to help kind of like settle down all the cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs in there. But here it's really more about just powering down, learning to settle down and learn to sleep, because sleep is one of the first, I'd say the first big rocks that if you master that sleep, anything is possible. All right. So I'd love to hear how this is landing with you. Are you someone who's a sleeper? Can you start to set up this bedtime ritual? This is one of the rocks that we'll be talking with in my program called Stress Free Summer. And it's a 66 accountability and consistency challenge that really is tailored to you. You pick your level, you pick the non-negotiables that we're going to work on for the next 66 days. So if this sounds of interest for you, do me a favor, grab the link below and check it out and see if this is something for you. And if you have a friend that might be interested in it, absolutely. The more, the merrier. All right. Have a fabulous Friday. I will talk to you next week.